Hello and welcome back to Object-Oriented Programming. Now, previously we talked about homework. I gave you this class. Basically a ship class and a player class with a few attributes in them. Now that we've learned about methods, let's take this one step further. You're watching the Object-Oriented Programming series on 0612 TV. Hello and welcome back to Object-Oriented Programming. Today's video is split into two parts. Firstly, we'll take a look at the kind of code that, we would have written last time. You can compare your code against mine to see how you've done. And what we're going to do then is I'll tell you what is our next step. So, having said that, let's jump into our original project. Because what we've done previously were attributes, that shouldn't be too difficult, right? All we need are a bunch of integers and strings to hold the information for us. So your code probably looks something like this. The key thing to look out for is if your programming language supports data types, which in my case Java does indeed do that, do make sure you've selected the correct data types. So all you need to be sure of are that you have the correct attributes in the correct place. But that's no fun because they don't do anything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start adding methods into the picture. We're going to start to allow these ships to be able to battle each other by simply using the properties of OOP. So starting off with the ship class, you will need these four things, the first of which are our getters and setters. Of course, you will want getters and setters so that the rest of the program can actually interact with your classes. Think carefully about these functions, whether they should be private or public, and what data types they're supposed to accept and return. Here's how the stats of the ship will actually feed into, how it performs in battle. Firstly, depending on the speed, a ship may be able to dodge an attack. The algorithm is shown on screen. First, you calculate a factor, which is a difference of, your speed and your opponent's speed. Depending on what the factor tells you, there is either no chance of a dodge or a random chance of a dodge. The probability is given by, the factor itself. What this means is you will be needing the random functions of your programming language, so, do read up on how to do that. At the end of the day, this function returns a Boolean value, either true or false, depending on whether the dodge has actually happened. Our second function is simple, is to check whether a ship has been destroyed or not. If a ship has been destroyed, its health is at 0, right? So again, all you need to do is to return a Boolean value, either true or false, depending on whether the ship has been destroyed or not. Finally, let's move on to attack. Attack is when a ship attacks another ship. We will construct this function using the functions we've created previously, alright? So to start off with, we will check to see if, the opponent can actually dodge this attack. If they can, then of course nothing else happens. But if they cannot, then we'll calculate how hard we can hit them. Again, how hard we hit them depends on our own attack and their defense, right? So we do a calculation, we get a number, and that number gets factored into their health points. After the attack, we check to see if we did actually destroy the other ship. Again, this makes use of the method we've written. If the ship is indeed destroyed, then give the player some credits, 1 or 2, randomly. Essentially, this function ties everything together. So these are the four main things you should be doing to the ship itself. For the player side of things, you only need to do one thing. Essentially, what a player can do is they can upgrade their ships based on the credits they've gotten. A credit can be used to increase any one of the four stats by 1. Therefore, every time you win a battle, you have a chance to make your ships even stronger. That's the idea. So, a very simplistic model of how, a game works. But with these classes in place, you can now bring everything together. To support this, you can start writing up some UI as well. For a start, you can just generate a sample player, a sample ship, link them together, generate another ship, and let them fight. Use random numbers if you want to make things a little bit more exciting, and you should be able to basically, follow through the entire process and show the result as a win or a loss. If you want to make things go even deeper, you can print for every action that has taken place during the fight. Perhaps you can even say that the ship with the highest speed is the one that gets to attack first. Be creative. There are a lot of things you can do off the back of this in order to test it. I think that's enough for you to, well, get your feet wet for now. As we move on, as we go on into inheritance, we'll do more. We'll expand this project so we have, say, I don't know, a boss battle. So yeah, hopefully that's an exciting idea. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think what we can do is to produce a working game. I mean, it's not going to be spectacular by any means, but hey, at least it's something you built yourself. So yeah, hopefully you'll give this a try, right? And we'll continue on this in the future. That's all there is for this particular episode. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, you're watching 0612 TV with NERDfirst.net. Thank you very much for watching. If you like my work and are feeling generous, you can shoot me a one-time donation on PayPal or sign up for a recurring one on Patreon. Of course, you can simply like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. For more videos, links to my channel and a related playlist are on screen. Thank you for your support.